Hello again. Coming to you today to talk about a very important concept in sociology, and really is kind of the foundation for how we study various cultures, intra and intercultural differences, and things of that nature. And you've read about this already. It's called cultural relativism. And cultural relativism is a very important concept. And it's pretty easy to sum up that we want to look at a culture on its own terms. Everything that we develop in a culture is developed to solve some type of a problem. Whether that's eating utensils, whether that's different ways to make containers to carry water, different clothing options. Those are typically structured by what's available in that environment. The environmental reality, is it more of a deciduous forest like we have here in Ohio? Is it maybe more of a desert environment like you'd have in the Middle East? Those are very different resources, very different natural resources available, and different geographic and environmental realities to react to. So if you trace the foundation of cultures and the different cultural artifacts, and you'll be learning about material and non-material culture. All of these things are invented and evolved based on the unique culture and the environmental restraints put on people. So it's important to keep that in mind. We don't want to look at things from the perspective of ethnocentrism, which is my culture is right or better and your culture is wrong. That's not healthy or helpful in understanding sociology or understanding the world that we live in. And a kind of easy example of that is, the kind of Western eating utensils versus Asian eating utensils. We see in Asia we have chopsticks, and in America and other Western countries you'll have forks, knives, spoons. They're not really any way to prove which one's better, which one's worse. They were developed in unique situations and unique cultures to solve unique problems. So arguing that, well, this one's better than the other is really just kind of silly at the end of the day. And frankly, we all know that the spork with the little knife on the handle solves it all. The one caveat to that is that we don't excuse away human rights abuses. And I think a great example of that, where we can look at both ethnocentrism and human rights abuses kind of in the same thing. I'm going to wait about 30 seconds here until this plane crosses over so I can continue to talk. Hopefully at-home schooling is going okay for you guys. You're able to work relatively distraction-free. I got kids at the house, so the park here seems to be the best option, even though I'm by Ohio State Airport, so we get that sometimes. Okay, a great example of that is women wearing headdresses. Now, first off, we can look at that ethnocentrically. You see women from a lot of different ethnic backgrounds that will wear some type of headdress, whether that's Muslim women wearing a hijab, whether that's Catholic nuns wearing a habit, whether that's Greek Orthodox or Jewish Orthodox women wearing their headdress. We see that in a lot of different cultures throughout the world. Now, ethnocentrically, I've never seen anybody protest nuns wearing their headdress, but we see people protesting Muslim women all the time, and that's ethnocentrism. That's saying, I'm going to look at the exact same behavior and have a problem with it when you do it, but not when this person does it. And that's just silly bigotry, is really all that is, and there's really no place for that whatsoever. So we always want to guard ourselves against that. Now, to look at things, look at this from a perspective of cultural relativism and potential human rights abuses. When I see somebody wearing a headdress in America, I don't even pay attention, honestly. I don't care because we live in a country where if somebody would like to wear a headdress, they can put it on. If they would like to take it off, they could take it off. Now, they might, disappoint their parents, but that's part of American culture too. My mom didn't talk to me for 3 months when I got my first tattoo. This is 20 years ago, but but there's no legal requirement. Nobody's going to get, any type of trouble with the state or the government. So when we see that in America, our reaction should be to just mind our own damn business, However, when you see that in other places where it's legally mandated, where an individual doesn't have the natural right to be able to take their headdress off or put it on as they so choose or see fit, then that's not something that we can explain away through cultural relativism, because there's no choice, there's no freedom involved in that. And I think that makes it very, very, a very clear distinction about, ways that we can look at and interpret different social activity and social events in a way that respects the people as they choose to engage in whatever behavior or activities, dress, food, whatever, that is culturally appropriate for them, versus places where people maybe don't have the ability to do as they wish. And then that's not a personal choice at that point. So we can't say, well, it's cultural relativism. So hopefully that makes a pretty clear distinction for you, and a useful way to kind of look at the world around us. And again, social norms and social pressure are very different from state laws and state pressure. Again, we all do things that our parents probably wish we wouldn't do at some point or another. We all do things that we know might be looked down on socially by other people or other groups in our society. I have long hair. I typically will get looks sometimes for that. But I like my hair, and I have the freedom to do that. So, but I know there's going to be some type of social backlash, and I'm willing to accept that, to be able to express myself the way I see fit. As long as we can remember that and kind of keep that in mind, I think that we'll all have a better semester, and we're better off for it. Have a nice day, and I'll talk to you soon. See if I can get it on the first time.